So, hi friends, my name is Davinder, and in this lecture, I will tell you how to install the Keystone. So, in this lecture, I will not, I will tell you what's the Keystone, but the detailed architecture of the Keystone and how it works, what the different components in that. So, I will explain you in the separate session. So, what I'm going to do, I will just tell you the installation of Keystone. So just open this one. Okay, so identity service overview. If you want to understand what is the identity overview, so you can understand who is authorized, authenticate, and the different catalog of services. So it will tell you all these things and who can access. And by default, you can create the regions into your OpenStack. So by default, region one is the default, and it has definitely every component in OpenStack has the API support, which it can you can call third-party APIs also that will supportable. So it is the centralized, you can say centralized way to provide the authentication and authorization through RESTful interface. So it will store all the information into the SQL DB, and it has its modules. Bitterware modules run in the address space of the OpenStack component that is using identity service. Means all the components in the OpenStack, they have to authenticate from the identity service Keystone. So which will you have the access on that particular service or not. So in the next session, what you have to install and how. And now I will let you know how to install. You know about MySQL -u user and -p for password. So I'm just logging to the username here. It is and giving the password. Now I've logged in. So in MariaDB, now I have to create a database of Keystone. So I'm created. Yes, it's done. Now here is the one of the tricky thing which you have to sometimes. It is mentioned grant all the privilege on the Keystone at the rate localhost. Sometimes if you didn't mention about the local host in your system, you have to mention about the controller. Otherwise, it will give you the error message after some time. So generally, what I do, I will give both the things at same time. And here, sorry. So now you can change the password here. So you have to change. So the problem is here I have to give you my own password. So I'm giving just Red Hat. So Red Hat and this one. Yes, now it's created. So next time you have to just see here. You have to just change one thing percentage. So it will localhost and it use while card character. And what I will do, I will also change this one with the controller means my local host is a controller, right? So I'm using that name also. Generally, if I'm giving this one, I will not face any problem in that. Let me try other things. Now you have to install, and we have to come out from this one. And okay, now we have to install the Keystone services, OpenStack Keystone, HTTP, and one of the module WSGI. Yes. So what it will do, it will create a database there, and we have to mention that our in Keystone where is our database and Keystone database, and that we have to mention that. So what I will do, I will just copy it. Firstly, let's take the backup of the configuration file. So generally, I will always take the BKP so that it's easy. So many things are there. So what generally I will do, I will actually generally I delete everything from here so that there should not be any problem. So okay, I'm not going to, otherwise you have to search database. Yes, under here. So okay, use here itself. So what they want, they you have to just mention that where is, what is the connection. So connection is MySQL, py MySQL Keystone, and here you have to change the password which you have given in MySQL. So that is, I have given Red Hat, so I'm giving the same thing. And there is another option, Fernet. So the provider is Fernet. You have to okay, I will tell you how there is the different ways to keep the tokens. So the Fernet is one of the latest option is there, where you have the symmetric encryption in that. So it is the best way to use the token. Is the tech way how you are using slash here. So the provider is, so just copy paste, because in this configuration file, if any small thing, spelling mistake, it is there, you are not able to do anything. So just save this file. Okay, now you have to populate that entity in database, so that it should be sync. So let me try. Yes, yes, any error message, if it is there, no, nothing is there. Okay, so now we have to do the setup. So initialize Fernet keys repositories. So in the Fernet setup we have to do the keystone manage is the command, the username is keystone and group name is a keystone for that. And then we have to credential setup where everything will be stored. Username, taking time. Yes, done. So now the bootstrap. So now the thing is, you have to just try this thing, how it is. So bootstrap, we try with this one. Okay, okay, we have to change this password first. So bootstrap password red hat minus minus, everything is controller only from my side. I'm just giving this one so that it will keep on taking the commands. So there is admin, different tenants are there. Here it is mentioned about bootstrap admin, internal and public. So you have to mention about all these things here. And there is a region ID. So by default you can give this one done. So okay, now configure your Apache server. So always take the backup of first. So server name we have to find, yes. So my server name is controller, so I'm just mentioning that. So where the traffic will come, just hold a second. Yes. So thing is, in this one, the server name. So here the server name is controller, but I will log in onto the different IP. So I want the Apache server on the different IP, so I'm giving a different IP for this one, or even column. By default it will take port 80, but I am just giving this one. So now let's create the link. Yes, so services is almost done. Now you can so now two options we have. Firstly, we have to export each and everything, and then we have to test the things, that is export the variable names. So I'm going to use, we have almost the same variable names. Export this one. Yeah, so here password will be changed because I'm using the password is Red Hat, and then our project name is admin, which is we have done for the bootstrap. So identity API services 3. So done. So now come on the next page. So we have to create the domain, projects, users, and role. For we have to firstly create any of the new domain. So okay, so we are creating, it is already saying default domain is already created. So under if you want to create some services, it is just showing that if you want to create a new how you can create. Just for example, I'm just running the same command. If your database has any problem password, it will give here error message. If it is running, yes, it means your everything is fine now, because it is giving you the right output. So next is now under service. So we have created example service, but by default service is already there. I'm going to use the default service. So that is all create hyphen hyphen domain default description is service project. Service project. So now I'm creating a project. Domain is already there default, and the service name is service. Okay, done. Yes. Now if you want to create some demo project, you can create. If you want to don't want to create, you can even skip also. So sometimes you are creating the demo project only to showcase for the any small means any user who doesn't have full access on your system, you want don't want to give. Sorry, I have some problem. Okay. So under this one, I'm giving, okay, it's fine. Demo projects is created. So now you have to create a demo user also. So who can access this particular project? So I'm creating new user with hyphen hyphen password prompt. So password always I'm giving to Red Hat. So it is easy, rememberable for me for this demo. So it's done. So now you can create user role. So I'm creating a user role, user role. So now the demo will be the part of this user role, normal user. Yes. Yeah, it's done. So if you want to create any other user or project, is the same steps. Now how you can verify all these things. Now I'm giving to the unset. Unset is the URL and OS password. So from the export, I'm removing it. Now I'm giving manually. So it will go, controller is my local host, then hyphen hyphen OS. My domain is default. Project name it's also default. OS project name admin, and then it will issue a token. So I have to see will it work or not, and I hope it is no password is there. Yes, Now it is asking, I'm giving the Red Hat password, and yes, it generated a token for that particular user. So our token service for the admin user is working fine. Even you can try for the demo also. Yeah, next command is demo only. So last two things you have to change here: OS user demo, and project name is also demo. Domains are same, and password is same, Red Hat. Done, it's working. So our this step is done. Okay, so it is asking creating Openstack client environment scripts. So generally what we are doing, we are whatever we are export each and everything we are putting into a one configuration file every time we are used. So that is we called sorry, not this one, it's that is for demo, and this is for admin OpenRC. So every time, rather than admin OpenRC insert, so just check here, change the password because our password is Red Hat. So now if you want to run any command, it will use all these parameters from here. So that environment we have selected, so we can now you can run this command OpenStack token issue. So that will just tell you, is it your this command? Yes, it is working. If you not set that, then OpenStack commands will not run because it doesn't know what is the environment and other things. So now it is for it came for oh, okay, I don't require that. Wait a minute. So yes, so our verify and Ubuntu okay, now next is Ubuntu and Keystone installation is done. So this is the way how you can deploy the Keystone. I will brief each and everything in architecture of the Keystone, what the different components are there. I will create a separate document for that. So this is morely I'm using for only for to showcase the installation. Thanks everyone. Next we will start our next step is glance. Thank you.